Hey guys, got a couple cool things I learned from Christ, which is rare. You don't believe my life. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you them. Okay, I was talking yesterday. I was frustrated at the politicians, and I said to just commented out loud to myself. I said, "Hey Christ," or go, "Hey Jesus." He goes, "Yeah." I go, I wish I had a UFO. I wish the aliens would give me a UFO so I could get rid of all the politicians on the earth. I'd just melt them into mud puddles. And he sort of laughed. I go, "You wouldn't know where I could get one," jokingly, because I'm bored. I asked him that. And he goes, "Well, your best bet's the moon." And I went, "What do you mean the moon?" He goes, "There's three viewing. He goes, "There's three viewing stations there from extraterrestrials." And I went, "Oh, really?" And he go, "Do you want to elaborate on that?" He goes, "Well, ask me questions." And so I did. He said there's a few extraterrestrial viewing stations. Turns out there's three extraterrestrial viewing stations on the moon. They're viewing stations. Means they don't live there. They ain't parked the mothership. They ain't done all that. There are three extraterrestrial viewing stations on the moon, and they are viewing us. Um, I said, I asked, "Do you know what species they are?" And he didn't know. I asked, are they friendly?" And he goes, "Well, they're not with Christianity." So I don't know what that means. He didn't elaborate, friendly or not. And I go, I know the ruins are there, the ruins on the moon from the past civilization on Earth. And he goes, "Yep." And I go, "Okay." And my kids chimed in, "There's streets on the moon too." My kids. I'm like, "How the hell do you know?" "We know." And I'm like, "Well, I don't." "Well, I do." I go, "I know what's going on." And then they go, "Oh, there's streets on the moon. They use streets on the moon." So I guess they have streets on the moon, like ones they built, not ruins, ones they made. And I go, "Well, okay." I go, "Do the humans have a base on the moon?" And he goes, "Yep." And I go, "What countries?" And he goes, "American, Chinese, India, and he goes, Europeans." And then my kid goes, my kids go, "Boots on the ground, boots on the ground," and which means they're on the moon. Then uh, one of some other person said, "Turkey, Turkey," and I go, "Turkey's on the moon, the country of Turkey," and Craig said, "Yep," which I think is part of the European Union thing over there, because Europe ain't Europe anymore. It's one big giant shithole, which is what we're becoming over here. So, three extraterrestrial races on the moon, bases, viewing stations, one Earth viewing station. And I asked Chris, I go, "Are they all friendly with the humans?" And he goes, "They're probably hammering out details," like something like that. The aliens are going to do whatever they're going to do. The humans moved in on the moon, and now they're trying to talk to them. Something like that. We don't have extraterrestrial anti-grav spacecraft. They do. We got space shuttles and shit. And if we do have anti-grav, they don't do hyperspace. So there you go. I asked him, well, how many extraterrestrials are visiting Earth? He said there's 7. One of them's mine. One of the ETs that contact me, one of their race. And that's what I got on the moon. Verified from Christ that's taking care of me. I call him Bone Jesus. The reason I call him Bone Jesus, because you're going to hear me mention this, he's part of my life now. I call him Bone Jesus because I find the ancient woolly mammoths and mastodons bones in the earth. Well, he verifies that I found them. He goes down and looks at them. Then he goes and gets the archaeologist. And the archaeologists come down, verify that, yep, they're bones. Then they take the bones, not fossils. Okay, these ain't petrified yet. They're only 48,000 to 150,000 years old. Before the last ice age and after the last ice age. So they're not fossilized. And they could take all the essences are there, bone stuff, bone energy, bones. They solidify it, take it back, and then they slowly chip away at it and reveal. Something like that. I don't know for sure. But anyway, when I find a complete skeleton of a mastodon, $840,000 in my bank account in St. Lucia. Well, when I heard that, because I was collecting, I got saber-toothed tiger skull I found. I gave it to Jesus years ago. He took it to get nuked. They nuke it, kill the loogies in it, kill the parasites in it, any energy parasites. Then I get to keep it and mount it on my wall. Well, I didn't know it was worth fucking $100,000. Now I do. And a complete skeleton. I'm like, shit, I can get these things all day. I only got the saber-toothed tiger skull because it's the only thing that'll fit in my living room. I can't put a mastodon in my house in St. Lucian in the living room. But the archaeologists in the museum, history museum of St. Lucian, they can, and they want it. They had one tooth of a mastodon or a mammoth. And that was it in the Natural History Museum of St. Lucian. That's all they had. $22 million later, they got almost every Pleistocene animal from the Ice Age and a couple Clovis period skeletons that I found. Unbelievable. I got like 10 million for that. And then everybody's out there looking for it now. They don't know how to do it. I do. Awesome stuff. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So I got Train Jesus. He helps me build my train set. And it's no little thing. Like, I got the best train set in the spirit world. Hands down, the best train set. And then it's the size. It's half the size of a hockey arena, this train set I made. Detailed like you wouldn't believe. So I call that Christ, Train Jesus. The guy that gets the bones and makes my guitars. I gotta tell you something. He makes my guitars. I call him Bone Jesus. The reason I call him that is so I can identify them when I'm talking to my wife and kids. Because they're all called Jesus Christ. So when I go to Julie, I go, Julie, go tell Jesus Christ to bring my trains to the room. They just sit there looking at me like I'm retarded. I'm like, train Jesus. They go, okay. So every Jesus Christ is called Jesus Christ. But when you try to fucking identify the one personality, the one person, you got nothing. You can't pin them down. So I do. I call him Bone Jesus and Train Jesus. That's just my thing. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way you're gonna have to deal with it. That's the way I deal with it. Now, I was making guitars for me and Julie and an audio, great big audio setup. Because I got $22 million. I can do all this shit. I bought a new house, bought a new car, it's a medium house. It's not a fucking mansion. I would never live in a mansion. It's a middle class type thing. Beautiful little house. But it's big. It's got one, two, 4 bedrooms, another room where we put all the guitars and amps. It's their singing room. Plus there's a bed in there, some chairs. All the audio equipment and sound equipment is in there. And that's where we play. So, Bone Jesus, I started pointing out trees that are buried with the bones. And these are 50,000 year old trees. And they're trees, literally trees, buried in the mud underneath my feet right now in the sediment, in the deposits, the sediment from the Ice Age. I go down, I show them in the earth, I go, look, tree. Huge old growth tree, fucking black oak. He almost had a stroke. He took it, put it in his illusion room, okay, carved it up, made a table and a bass guitar for me. And I shit, we can make some money off this. He don't get as much money. What he don't sell to the museums, he makes antique tables, beds, wooden things, right? And I'm like, make me a 48,000-year-old bass guitar, right? That'll be cool. And it's all wood finished, you know. It's got all the stuff on it. And so he does that. We're selling these guitars for like 10 grand a piece, okay? The museum took all my bass guitars that were made, and they cost me a lot, right? They cost me a lot. And I got like 4 of them. They took them on tour throughout Christendom to show off. As that's happening, these 4 different bass guitars I got that are made from the old trees from 48,000 years ago. As that's happening, Christ decides to make another company. And he loves this shit. He loves the tree stuff and the bone stuff. And what he does now is he made a company. It's called Starbase Guitars. Starbase Guitar. For me. Because he knows I like space and everything. And bass guitars. So he started up a little company called Starbase Guitars. And he's asking me to get all the different types of bass guitars. But they already know. But the custom ones that are cool. Like Tom Araya's bass guitar, Blackie's bass guitar, stuff like that, right? So these are all custom type guitars. Really strange. They don't have that in St. Lucian. They just got your normal contemporary guitars. And so I'm pumping these things to him. He's making me a copy. Not an old growth, but not anymore. I got like 3 old growth guitars. Not literally made from old growth wood 48,000 years ago, but they're so fucking much. He's selling them instead of, like, I got a couple I like he gave me. Well, I bought for 9 grand. Like, I bought the guitar for $9,000, right? And I got it fitted out. So to get all the electronics in it is 9 grand. All the top of the line electronics. To carve out the old growth tree into a guitar, make it perfect, is like another 12. So it's like, I don't know, but it's a lot of money. And he made a table for us, $8,000, fucking supper table. I paid for it, and I'm like, whatever. I'll just go find another bone. It don't matter to me. I'm like, fuck, whatever. My wife, she's yelling at me, we need a kitchen table. Then he makes one, $9,000, gives it to us, and I pay for it. So I got my guitars. I got Julie some guitars. I got Angela, great big audio system for singing. So they all like to sing. So all the kids get together. They go in the room, and that's it. I don't see them for all day. But I wake up to music. They're playing every day, man. It's pretty wild. So I got that going on. And he got a little company going. So I'm making money from that. So what happens is I find him the wood. He goes, Rich, you need more wood. So I go down the dirt. There it is, there it is, there it is. He grabs all these trees, brings them up into his illusion room, cuts them into slices, puts them on a shelf, all the different trees of hardwood, all 48,000 years old or more. So you got a whole illusion room full of ancient wood. The bottom, like 50 feet underneath the lake, the waters and the sediment of Lake Erie. I'm pulling out old growth trees. It's great. I'm pulling out mastodons, everything, man. He's selling them. That's what he does. And he gets a cut, and I get like, he gets 30% out of the 100% of the funds that we get. So if I find a mastodon skeleton, it costs, he sells it for $840,000. He gets 30% of that for doing the work. I'm like, deal, you know. I was living on the street. I was damn near living on the street before all this happened. Then I got the illusion room going. I'm making money off that. I got my trains going. I'm making money off that. So I got 3 things going for me when I die. Plus $22 million. That's a lot of fucking money too. I can build, they go, you can make a hockey arena. I go, how much is it to make a hockey arena? They go, $40,000. I'm like, I got an NHL size hockey arena. I'm like, oh, well, maybe not that. But you know what I mean? So I'm like, wow. Anyway, that's cool. And I don't keep it all. Like, my wife got some. My kids got some. And I got plans. Another guy, as part of the family, we bought new property. We're putting a house on the property down the lower illusion. We're going to build a house on it, and we're going to give it to Christ so people can live in it that don't have a place to live. So it's pretty good, and we don't get no money for it. We just got a place, and no one's using it, so we're going to put a family in there and have at it. Stuff like that. That's what we're doing, right? And I'm trying to survive the ordeal. So those are a few things. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is huge, okay? Viewer, subscriber wanted to know, and I found out. And this one is about Michael Jackson. Okay, so you watch, you know what happened to Michael Jackson. All of his stuff. I ain't judging, you know, I ain't doing none of that. You never know the truth. I know what the music industry does to people when they sign the contract, the soul contract. Oh yeah, you get your demon. You get your demon control you, and then you got a gun to your head for the rest of your life. So that's what happened to Michael Jackson. When they don't need you anymore, it's time for a sacrifice to Moloch. So they sacrifice you off to Moloch or whoever they do. And that's that. That's how it works. So that's why all these artists die the way they do, you know. He died. He hung himself off a doorknob. And they put it out there like that to let you know. This is what, if you don't do what we tell you, this is what happens to you. And it's all written in the stars. It's all astronomical, or astronomical, yeah. Anyway, that's what they do. So, back to Michael Jackson. Turns out, I asked Christ, I go, what's Michael Jackson up to? What's going on with him? The Kids went nuts. They love him. I go, did he get murdered? Did he molest children and rape them and do all this shit they're saying in the media? And Christ goes, he starts yelling at me. I'm like, calm down, man. Tell me. And he goes, no. He goes, Michael Jackson never did anything wrong like what the media says on Earth. He goes, all that's made up bullshit. And he goes on to say, Michael Jackson was being abused by the media. Now, from what I understand is whatever decided Michael's fate made up the accusations, put it out there to destroy his life. Now, how he died was like this. This is what Christ said. This is how he died. Michael Jackson. Where the fuck are my papers? Okay, the doctor or whatever gave him the drugs to put him for when he went to bed, help him sleep. Gave him the drugs. He died in his sleep. That's what happened. He did nothing wrong, and every accusation was manufactured. He was abused by the media. Abused is abuse, man. When they use the word abuse, it's like rape, torture, shit. Abuse don't mean bad. Abuse is abuse. All right, so just to let you know, when they say abuse, it's fucking abuse. And I was abused by a fucking crazy man. So just to let you know, damn near killed me. Yeah, I was damn near dead. I was one sneeze away. Anyway, the only thing Michael did wrong was his mutilation of his face. That's the only thing he did wrong. They let him go on it for what happened to him. Now, they said he got his nose. His nose was totally gone. And his cheekbones were worked on. They mentioned his nose a lot. That he didn't have a nose anymore. Because whatever they did, they took his nose off and used it for other parts in his face. So he had a fake nose, plastic fake nose. And I don't know, I knew he got facial construction done. You could tell. But anyway, they say, yeah, no nose. He had no nose. But now Michael, he dies. Guess where he is? He's in a place called, and they gave, Christ told me, somebody said this. I don't know if it was Christ. They said, this was very weird. Because they said, where the fuck did they say? I can't remember. Oh, that ain't it. Hold on, I'll find it, guys. It was really cool. She asked, the subscriber asked, does he do music? They said, yeah, he still does his music. But he is doing something, and I wrote it down, but I can't find it. I got everything here about what I need, Okay. Jesus Christ, I can't find it. He was I'm gonna wing it. He is doing angel stuff. He don't live in like St. Lucian where we live. He's so popular that they had to give him his own. They put him in a room. They put him in another reality. And I'm like, what the hell? There's another reality? And they said, it's hard for you to understand. It's hard for me to explain. They said they put him in another reality to keep him away from the general population, like St. Lucian and other places like St. Lucian. because he's so popular. So many people, he can never get any sleep. He can never get any rest because he's totally hounded. So what they did was they put him in another reality, whatever that means. I have no fucking idea. And he goes, it's a secret. I go, what's a secret? He goes, the reality is a secret. This other reality is literally a secret. And he goes, I can't explain any more than that. I go, we're in a reality. He goes, yeah. They put Michael Jackson in another reality, a parallel universe, another reality, fourth and fifth dimension. And he goes, I can't explain it. I can't tell you about it. It's a secret. But all I can say is they put him in another reality. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay, whatever. What's going on with the angel thing? Michael Jackson is living with angels, literally winged angels. I've seen them with my own eyes in the coffee shop. There's angels, and he's taking angel lessons. So there you go. So basically, the only, Michael Jackson, the things Michael Jackson did to himself, the self-mutilation on his nose and stuff, that's all Christian no-no. But what he did to the human population and all the love and compassion he gave out, basically he was a Christ. Everything was accused on him. All the bullshit was accusations. Just bullshit blown out of proportion. All manufactured. All bullshit. That's what Christ did. And when we started talking about Michael Jackson, other people started yelling and screaming, telling me stuff. So there you go. So these are a couple of things I just thought I'd mention. They're not updates. They're just, I like to ask more. And one little thing about the extraterrestrial moon bases. I said, I wish the ETs would give me a UFO. And no, I was talking to Christ. I go, I wish the ETs would come down and destroy the system that we live in. Just back to natural law. He goes, might happen sooner than you think. And I'm like, he was like half sleeping. He's in his bed sleeping. And he goes, might happen sooner than you think. So, get ready. Something's going on. I asked him more about it. He goes, nope. So I go, I got it. I know anyway. So I go, basically, they want the New World Order, which is going to be run by sociopaths, bankers, and Satanists. They're all bad guys that you never want to know. Totally dissociated with humanity. They don't give a fuck about you. They'll kill you and eat your brain. These fucking people, the Faucis and Microsoft guys and the bankers and the kings and queens of the pharaohs and the fucking Anunnaki. Them fucking people don't care about you. And just for the statement, just to let you know, the pharaohs of Egypt that built the fucking pyramids, scum of the universe. The Anunnaki that came here and made us, scum of the universe. They made us as slaves. Then later they made the fucking pyramids and all this shit around the world, all the other pyramids. Scum. So you fucking people that worship the pharaohs of Egypt, the real ones, not the fucking losers afterwards that came in and moved in, the real ones that built it, all you people that worship that shit, you're on the wrong path. Let's just say that. All you Anunnaki worshippers, you're on the wrong path. There may have been a couple good ones that did the right thing, just like here on Earth. There's a couple good ones. They gave us religion deliberately to divide and conquer. So they always have a stranglehold on us because we'll never know the fucking truth because we're too stupid to think for ourselves. It's all pre-planned from back before the fucking pyramids were built. 40,000 years ago. No, 400, whatever the fuck it was. Long, long time ago. Before there were humans, it was all planned out. Now we're just cockroaches. But extraterrestrials, the good ones, are keeping a rain check on that. They say they can't interfere. They can't interfere with human development. The bad ones can. The bad ones just come right in and say, yep, here's a new gun. Give us blood. We need blood to... Whatever the deal is, I don't know. Okay? So they come into the government, not the government, the Black Ops government, the secret, dark, compartmentalized government. Make deals with them for whatever, usually something on us. Genetics, all the good stuff. The Greys, whatever they want. They don't care about you. Now, the good aliens and the Federation of Planets, or whatever they're called, they are not allowed to interfere. You'll never see it in the news. But the comet never hits. The meteorite never hits. Now, the bad guys could be moving the comets and the meteorites. Remember, there's 3 different races viewing Earth from the moon, including humans, making a station there. So when Trump said, we're making a station on the moon, it was already there, people. They're already on it. I don't know what to extent. But they ain't got all the shit the extraterrestrials got. Just let you know that. The guy who said, we could take extraterrestrials back. Did you ever hear the guy in the news says, we can finally take E.T. home? Just stroking his ego, putting out a psyop. Bullshit. They can't fucking... Humans can't fucking fly hyperdimensional. They can't. They haven't developed it yet. We may have the ship that can buzz around above Area 51 and go up and down fast. Not hyperdimensional across the galaxy through interstellar space, let alone this dimension, the 5th dimension, without all the other ETs knowing about it. So, forget about it. All that back engineering, that's true. They've done all that. But, pretty cool that Christ confirmed it. I almost had a stroke. I'm like, you're talking about it? And he goes, I don't care. He goes, you're right in everything you say. He goes, I'm just as sick about it as you are. That we're living under the boot of fucking evil. We're living under the boot of evil. I'm always telling Christ, why doesn't Christ come down and just fucking tell the truth about the universe and everything in it? And he goes, you don't. There's reasons why. And he goes, I don't agree with it. I would do it. I go, look, Christ, just come down, tell everybody on the earth, extraterrestrials are here. Make it a mandatory thing where you're not hiding it anymore. In St. Lucian, you're not allowed to fucking talk about it. They'll stone you to death. You'll never hear the end of it. You know, they don't literally stone you, but you'll be fucking... Some of them will stab you and beat you up. Because they're fucking nuts, man. Like, they're religious fundamentalists. They'll fucking shoot you. Crazy man raped me and fucking nearly killed me, plus other people. His followers were trying to kill me afterward. Followers stabbing me night and day. I got 130 in a fucking 2 weeks. I got 138 stabbings in my back, in my guts, in my head, in my jaw. You wouldn't even believe it. All recorded for the courts. That's why he's doing 75 years. And then they're going to fucking judge him again. And every time he does something to me, he gets more time put on. So there you go. He gets more life, more stuff. Unbelievable, guys. This is what's going on. This is what I got yesterday. I'll make another video update about my little problem with the Jesus Christ I have now. It's a little problem. It ain't a big life and death thing, but it's annoying and it's even fucking rotten, and I hated it. Anyway, but he's a good guy. For Jesus Christ that was working with me, he's a good guy. He's just too good at it, and I'll explain in another video. All right, later.